Now in the light heavyweight division at 85 kilograms. Please welcome, representing Dolce & Gabbana Italia, Thunder, Imre SZELLO.
Well, Imre SZELLO, the light heavyweight for the Italia Thunder, 184 centimetres in height. He's Hungarian by birth, Richie, 3 times a national champion. It's his 3rd season in the WSB, and it's his 2nd season for the Italian team. He knows the name of the game. He knows all the tricks in the book. The most experienced WSB boxer for the Italians tonight.
Yeah, he is experienced. I mean, he's got a record of 6-2 in the WSB. So, you know, he's getting accustomed to the 5 rounds now. Hungarian. And when I was an amateur boxer, obviously Hungary were Eastern Bloc, and they always produce some really good amateurs, good amateur system. They're not as good today as they were then, but nevertheless, the talent is still in Hungary, and this is one of them.
And ladies and gentlemen, a young man who hails from Moat, County Westmeath, Ireland, representing British Lionhearts, Joe Ward.
Now, Joe Ward has beaten SZELLO. He beat him in the European Championships where he took the gold and beat him quite nicely there. So there's no question that the Hungarian's out there looking for revenge tonight. And he's looking for revenge in front of a British crowd. But the lad out of Westmeath in Ireland will surely draw confidence from that win in the Europeans of 2011.
Yeah, European champion, Joe Ward, desperately unlucky not to get Olympic qualification. I thought he was out and out robbed in Turkey in the qualifying tournament, but didn't get it. Such a shame, because he is a talent, Joe Ward. He's boxing for the British Lions, but obviously he's come over from Ireland. This is a rematch, and SZELLO will probably think, he's beat me over 3 threes, but over 5 threes, I think I can take him. That's what he'll be thinking.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is 5 3-minute rounds of boxing in the light heavyweight division at 85 kilograms. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the blue colour shorts trimmed with gold. He comes to the ring this evening as a European bronze medalist. His WSB record is an outstanding one. 8 contests, 6 wins with only 2 defeats. Tonight, he aims to avenge one of those defeats against the opponents he faces across the ring. Representing Italia, Thunder, Imre SZELLO. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the red colour shorts trimmed with white. His amateur achievements thus far are 2009 World Junior Champion, 2010 World Youth Champion, and 2011 European Gold Medalist. Hailing from Moat, County Westmeath, Ireland, proudly representing the British Lionhearts, please welcome Joe Ward.
Well, there's Barry McGuigan and Joe Calzaghe in the crowd, 2 former world professional champions, really enjoying tonight's WSB action. Seamus Kelly, the Irish referee. And as you said, what a shame that Joe Ward missed the 2012 Olympics, but it may be a blessing in disguise. Joe Ward, from World Junior to World Youth to European champion, I think, and we'll see his skills demonstrated quite clearly now. If he can hang on till Rio, here's another one of those British boxers that could come home with the gold in his back pocket.
Yeah. Seconds up for the first round.
Imre SZELLO in the dark shorts, the red shorts for Joe Ward, the British Lionhearts. And I'm sure Joe's not thinking about this right now, but we certainly are here ringside. If Joe Ward takes this bout, then the British Lionhearts have made it 2 from 2 in the early rounds of the WSB Season 3.
Yeah, Ward, southpaw. If he does hang on to Rio, though, Nick, let's face it, he'll be boxing for Ireland. He won't be boxing for Britain. But nevertheless, you're quite right. He's a very talented boxer indeed. Southpaw. And straight away, SZELLO having problems with the distance from Ward. And Ward's got a good jab. See him just feint there to the body because he's looking to land the left hand. And he can punch as well, Ward. And he's got a bit of power in his shots. So this again could be a tough night for SZELLO.
Lead right hand from Joe Ward. Just sizing it out. Nice work on the feet. Forwards on that front foot, but then as he pushes that lead hand forward onto that back, the big left hand he wants to pull through. Hasn't quite connected yet, but you know it's coming.
No, he's just measuring the distance with that jab and the gap. But I think he will land the left hand better, bringing his opponent onto it. And that's what most southpaws do against orthodox opponents. As they jab, they want their opponent to actually lead off with that left hand.
Yeah.
And because they sit back, look how he's sitting back, he'll make him fall short and then come back with his own left hand counter. Classic counter punching southpaw style.
Just under a minute to go on this first round.
And there is an example there of Ward making his opponent miss and then coming back with the counter. Just because he's sitting back on that back foot, that's why he can afford to have that low right hand. He's inviting the attacks from SZELLO. He's not quite taking the bait yet. He's still staying at range, SZELLO, because he knows as he's coming forward, if he does fall short, he's going to get caught.
Good finish now in the last 15 seconds will help Ward here. Well, we can clearly see the tactic for the orthodox British Lionheart fighter Joe Ward with his southpaw stance. Didn't quite connect as much as he would like, but again, the butterflies have been settled. His first step into the world of WSB, and a very calm performance for his first round.
Yeah, quite a close round, to be quite honest. Again, that could have gone either way. Francesco Demiani there. Let's have a look at the scores. All for Ward. Yeah, close round, but look, Joe Ward's got it, so that'll give him confidence. The corner will be telling him that. Remember, this is a rematch, so psychologically, this man's got a little bit of an edge over his opponent. That may make SZELLO now come forward, which will definitely suit Ward. If he comes forward recklessly, he'll walk up to Ward's punches. So, good opening round for Ward. Let's see what response is going to be now from SZELLO.
Seconds out, round two.
Second round, Joe Ward, 10-9 in the 10 must-point score system, has the first. And you're absolutely right, Richie, coming forwards that little bit more positively. SZELLO for the Italia Thunder.
See, the problem that SZELLO's got with Ward, because Ward sits back as a southpaw, SZELLO's right hand has to travel further to actually land and hit the target, especially if he's sitting back. His best chance is he's trying to probably act as a counter-puncher himself, make Ward lead off and then try and connect with the right hand. But if he's leading with the right hand when Ward's sitting back, he will fall short every time and walk onto counters. Got to get the feet into range, one way or the other. See a little bit more success there because Ward started to throw the shot. Lovely skills there from Ward. Just needed a punch off that defensive movement there. A little bit more urgency from SZELLO here. But again, Ward, he has that knack of controlling the pace very well against his opposition. The slow, leisurely pace of the southpaw counter-punching style suits that style of boxing and that stance. SZELLO, for me, he's got to up the tempo and try and take him out his rhythm a little bit.
He's got into a nice rhythm here,
yep.
Joe Ward, and the judges will see that he's controlling the fight. It's certainly not as explosive as the Selby bout before. Oh, there it is. Lovely left hand.
Lovely skills from Ward there because he didn't fall in after his work. He threw the shots and still maintained the gap. and ready to go again. Good work. Too often you see boxers land punches but follow through, and the body then, look at this, lovely, but he's still again not coming through. Just nice boxing from Ward, sensible boxing. There you go, in and out. What SZELLO has to do here, he has to start doubling up his attack a little bit more. He must start one attack and then have a split second, have a slight break, and then go again, just to try and confuse and catch Joe Ward off guard. The pace again is being controlled from Ward, suiting his style down to the ground. Easy around for him.
Well, not afraid to put in a few body punches as well, Joe Ward, and that will have caught the judge's eye. And the Irish southpaw, Joe Ward, good tempo and good consistent shots hitting the target. That right hand, very nice.
Yeah, some good stuff. Boxing at distance and maintaining the gap is Ward there, throwing the left hand, but doesn't rush in, just waits, patient, sensible boxing. And yeah, he got every judge scorecard there. Much easier round for him. Now, what will be the tactic now from the Italian corner? Will they send him out and try and close him down? Because that's another tactic against the leisurely type of southpaw who sits back. Push on him, up the work rate, up the tempo, push him back to the ropes and restrict that movement a little bit.
Well, again, we had a chance to chat with Joe Ward before this all-important match, and he was possibly the most nervous of them all, but he's looked the most calm and collected in the ring. As you quite rightly say, that southpaw style and that lead right hand, which he just waves in front of the Hungarian, tempting him in with that big left, has just been accurate. And from a timing perspective, near perfect. It looks a little slower, but it's just as an effective point-scoring weapon.
Yeah. And again, ring positioning, ring craft from Ward here. Very, very good indeed. He's staying centre of the ring. That's where his strength is when he's boxing in the spaces of the ring. He may have a few problems when he goes back to the ropes or in the corner. It makes things a little bit more difficult because of that movement's restricted. But from centre, Joe Ward's in control.
Trying to get in closer with the feet. SZELLO for Italia Thunder, trying to find a few more body shots as well.
See, SZELLO there, he threw 2 or 3 shots, but then stopped. This is what he should be doing. Get on the front foot and really have a go and close Joe Ward down. Head movement as he's coming forward to avoid the shots. High guard, but fast feet in and close Ward down. Not doing it for me. Ward totally in control.
Oh, there's the lead left and the lead right, I should say, with that left counter punch working effectively again in this third round.
Yeah, he needed that left hand there, did Ward, because he just switched off for the last 30 or 40 seconds or so. Got caught with a few shots, maybe getting a little bit complacent, and he needed that shot then to make it a little bit better for him. But it's a better round from SZELLO.
That's a good 1-2 combination from Ward, just as we need to see him impress those judges as the clock closes down on the third round. If he takes this one, it really does put the pressure on SZELLO to try and find a big knockout punch in the 4th and 5th. Just needs to maintain that tempo, that control.
Oh, that was a low shot. Referee didn't see that one. I thought it was a little bit low from SZELLO. The confidence is now is with Ward. He's actually starting to come forward. Oh, good punch again. Better stuff from Ward.
That's another round surely for Joe Ward from the Moat Boxing Club in Westmeath, Ireland. Eddie Bolger, his club coach, got to be happy with the way this lad has performed. And there again you see that right jab and the left. Such a successful target for him. He doesn't really need to change his tactic now, does he, to be honest, Richie?
No, you know, it's a counter-punching style that he's got, but he showed at the end there a little bit of a variation. He went on the front foot, pushed his opponent back and kept him off balance. It's not a spectacular display from Ward, but at the same time he's winning the contest, and he's boxing to instruction, and at the end of the day he's getting the job done.
10 seconds. Seconds out, round 4.
Well, of course, in the WSB we get to see the scores round by round. Richie, if you were in the Italian corner, Zello has lost the first 3. There's only 2 to go. What's the tactic? He's got to knock him out, and I can't see it coming at all.
Well, he has to apply a little bit more pressure. So if I was in that corner, I'd have been saying to him, listen, you know, you're 3 rounds down. You know, you've got to stop this kid. You've got to get on the front foot. It's all or nothing now, and just have a go. Try and push the fella back, double up your attacks, and sustain a little bit of pressure, and give him some trouble, because at the moment he's just boxing to his pace. He's controlling it. You've got to take him out of that zone and put him under a little bit of pressure. But it's, hey, Nick, it's easier said than done.
Well, and you said it also right at the beginning of this bout as well, Richie, that there was this psychological advantage that Joe Ward brought forward from the European Championships, the AIBA European Championships of last year, where he got the better of Zello. And it's almost as if both of those boxers have forgotten that it's WSB tonight, and it's almost been a repeat of that match a year ago.
I think he's slotted into that way of thinking here. Zello.
Another low blow.
So you can see the confidence now with Ward there, just trying to land that right hook to the body, coming forward. Normally likes to sit back, just gets caught with the shot there. Zello's actually targeting the body, which is not a bad thing to do against the southpaw, especially if you can finish up on the left hook, throw the right hand to the body in a left hook combination. But the timing here from Ward, again, is much better.
Zello got his first serious counter in on Joe Ward there. And Joe's just got to watch that he doesn't... That's the right that tries to bring him in, but he doesn't just drop it that little bit too low. Now he's back to that old tactic. Off that back foot. With the left doing the damage once again in this 4th round. There you see the southpaw with the right, then in he goes. And Zello's just had no answer to that tactic from the start of this bout.
No, he seems to have run out of ideas, probably in the last round. From the 2nd round, Zello, he's more or less doing the same things, isn't he? He's not doing anything different. If anything, he's landing with the odd shot here and there now, mainly because Ward is starting to come forward a little bit more. But as I say that, then he just walks forward and lands 2 good shots there from Ward.
This is looking better and better for the British Lionhearts here at Celtic Manor, Newport, Wales. This could be their 3rd straight back-to-back bout victory. We've got John Joe Nevin and Fred Evans still to box, and there's high expectations for both of those. Another good round, I'd say, for Joe Ward.
Yeah, much better here from Ward. This 1-2 combination especially, landing it several times in this round. Coming forward, actually counter-punching on the front foot here. As he's going forward, he's waiting and drawing the lead from his opponent, and then going back with a fast 1-2 counter. Good boxing. I think Zello is getting more and more tired, and so he's getting caught with more shots. They'll be well pleased in the British corner, most certainly.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Similar situation here, as we said, with Andrew Selby. He's just got to stay calm, stay focused, nothing too flashy. keep their game plan to finish as he started. And not only will this be the third win of the night, it will confirm that no matter what the outcome of the next two bouts, Richie, the GB Lionhearts have won again.
Yeah, but I've seen it hundreds of times in professional boxing where a boxer who's 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds ahead gets caught. It only takes one shot in this game, so you have to stay fully focused right to that last bell. Anything can happen, and especially now we're going into the heavier weights. 85 kg, this one is, isn't it? I mean, these are big fellas, they punch hard, and SZELLO will still think that he can win, maybe with one shot. So you've got to stay focused.
And I think the word from the British Lionhearts corner has been set in stone. Oh, again, lovely with the right jab there. Lead hand puts it out, Joe Ward. Well, SZELLO is looking for that big punch, Richie. You can clearly see he's coming in closer, quicker with the feet.
Yeah, getting a couple of opportunities here to land that shot with SZELLO. But look at the confidence in Ward. Super straight left hand there.
All part of the very important learning curve for Joe Ward. 5 rounds, that's new territory. But also a slightly different tactical play as well. Good work. Again, like the first and the second and the third round, keeping the tempo at the pace that he wants. Drawing on the Italian, SZELLO, and drawing him onto that left hand as smoothly and as effectively as he did right at the beginning of this bout.
Yeah, he's controlled the pace and tempo very well tonight, Ward, as he does in most of his contests. He's a difficult man to beat, especially when he sits back on that back foot and then just jabs and brings you on to shots. And it's very, very inviting with that low right hand that he has, but he's a difficult target to hit because he sits back and he's quick with his counters, so you do have to apply pressure to try and land a shot, get the feet in close, but you risk getting caught as you're walking forward and going in there, so you've got to keep that guard up and you've got to move your head at the same time also.
A little wild with the right arm there, but
good job, that didn't connect.
Absolutely, and still showing great athletic mobility here, still moving, bobbing and weaving with the head and the upper body.
I'd say Ward's probably just slowed down these last 20 seconds or so. Now he's starting to put in a bit of a finish. But good performance from Ward. Sensible boxing, clear winner.
Last shot almost of the night, certainly the last point score of the night was that wonderful left hand of Joe Ward, and the Irishman has done the British Lionhearts proud here tonight. Not only has he won his first ever bout in the WSB, but he's also given Britain another valuable 3-point score to give them the win here tonight, no matter what the outcome of the final 2 bouts, and those final 2 bouts are possibly 2 of the most exciting ones we've yet to see, Richie.
Yeah, a little bit more pressure on the last 2 now, isn't it? But nevertheless, Joe Ward has played his part tonight, done a good job, listened to his corner, boxed very sensibly, and got the job done. And I think was always one step ahead of his opponent, and always that little bit better. And really hasn't got a mark on him, Joe Ward. And that's what this game's all about. Hit your opponent and don't get it yourself. And just looking up at Joe Ward, he looks like he's been playing a game of football or something, I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges are in full agreement by exactly the same scores of 50 to 45 for your winner. In the red corner, representing British Lionhearts, and now putting his team into an unassailable 3-0 lead, Joe Ward.
Well done, Joe, well done. What a smashing performance for Joe Ward. Not only having his first taste of WSB boxing, but also giving the match, no matter what the outcome for the final two bouts, to the British Lionhearts. Let's go into the ring with our MC Michael Pass and see what Joe thinks of his performance tonight. He's just trying to get his... when he gets his robe on, he'll have time to chat to us, but now's the time to take your time, make a few mistakes, because Joe, faultless performance for young Mr. Ward.
Joe, in what seemed at times a cagey fight, you got your jab working and you hit him with some great lefts. He was obviously a durable opponent. You have a huge following with the WSB in Ireland. How do you think you performed for your fans tonight, who will be watching, by the way?
Yeah, I think I boxed really well. Like, to me, it's a new system for me, like longer rounds. So I kind of had to slow it down a bit, and at the end of it, like in there of all the rounds, I was catching with the left hand clean, like so. Yeah, I'm really happy with my performance, and all I have to do is learn. That's all I'm going to do, learn more WSB fights. I haven't going to learn, and I want to thank the English Lionhearts for giving me a chance to box for them like in the WSB.
You fought him twice now. You hold a 2-0 lead over him. Will there be a 3, a third one, or would you rather not see him again?
No, I don't mind. If he keeps coming in, I'll just keep beating him. So that's the way I look at it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Joe Ward, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's take a look at the story of this bout, because Joe Ward, Richie, for all young boxers watching out, it's a classic lesson on how a southpaw can dominate an orthodox boxer. And for all those orthodox boxers, what advice would you give them tuning in right now?
Well, advice what I'd give him is what I was saying during the contest for SZELLO. He had to get up closer, and there's always that gap between a southpaw and orthodox is the problem. Well, here you've got a classic case of a southpaw counter puncher making his opponent lead, and then he's going back with counters. That was a typical example there, that 1-2 combination after SZELLO had actually made an attack. The reason why Joe Ward is so good is he can counter punch on the back foot or the front foot. As he goes forward, he's still waiting for the attack from his opponent. He'll make him miss, and then he'll punish him. Good, skillful boxer.
Well, good, skillful boxing at a crucial point in the match. No matter what the outcome of the next two bouts, the unbeaten record for the British Lionhearts has been maintained here, but there is still two striking bouts to go. And next up, it is John Joe Nevin for the British Lionhearts up against Branimir Stankovic of Italia Thunder in the lightweight division.
Ladies